guys. Hey guys. I went to the store a few days ago, and I picked up this awesome book. And it is a chapter book, and I've read most of it. So I'm just going to be doing a review on it for you. It's called Everything You Need to Know About Snakes and Other Reptiles. And this is a Smithsonian book. It cost $9. It's really good though. So, in the book, they have a table of contents because it's a really big book. And some of the coolest things in there, I like the probably best part I like about it is the most deadly snakes and venom. And venom is on page 32. See, this is the venom page. And like beside each venom, they'll have the name of a snake. Like this is the Indian's cobra's venom. And then I like the most deadly snakes now on the next page. And it like warns you what snakes that you need to look out for. And then it said other reptiles too. So it talks about colorful chameleons, how chameleons are able to change their colors. Then they talk about defense tactics. And this is really cool because did you know that grass snakes, if all else fails, some snakes will flop on the ground with their tongues longing and play dead. It works because most hunters prefer to eat freshly killed prey. So you can see it right here. And it looks like, look, you can see the little tongue. If you've ever, these lizards are very common where I live. I live in the south, and I see these a lot. And I usually think they're poisonous, but I don't really know much about them, so I'm going to read this to you. It's called a five-linked skink. Birds hunt by sight and notice bright colors. The vivid blue tail of this lizard distracts them from the lizard's vulnerable head. Oh. It might be poisonous, I don't know though. And then a cool thing they have in here is the large reptiles, and they have the Komodo dragon right here, the big one. Then they have in the corner right up here the python and the tortoise right there. And then the other cool thing I really like about this book is it shows what they eat. Like, we're going to focus on the green tree python right here, or the emerald tree. And follow the blue, it eats rats because you will follow the blue. And then rattlesnakes eat prairie dogs. Well, it's the circle of life, guys, if that's sad for you. And the other cool thing is all the desert dwellers. They have a whole desert dweller page, and it's got, this is my favorite out of all of them, the Gila monster. It's a really cool reptile. I thought it was an amphibian at first, but... And then it just talks about how they move. It's just a really cool, awesome book. And they talk about sea turtles and how they migrate, their migration systems. So like, they'll go from Japan to Alaska, and then they'll head down to around California, and they'll then go into New Mexico. And then travel to England, and then go back to Japan, and it starts all over again. And then they have just a whole page of iguanas. iguanas are really cool, and if you want one as a pet, I'd recommend reading about them. And if you want one of these as a pet, I wouldn't recommend one of them. I don't think you can even get them as a pet. But these are the Komodo dragons, and they talk about how the disgusting dragons, how they're cannibals. Some are cannibals. Some hunt in packs. And some eat children. So FYI, I wouldn't bring your kids. I wouldn't bring a Komodo dragon home from the pet store. And they talk about like all the flying, how they can jump really far. There's one that talks about water too. Then they talk about fossils. This book is probably the best book, nonfiction book I've ever picked up. It's awesome. You should really check it out. And this was a book review actually, if you were wanting to know. So take a screenshot of this, show it to your mom and dad. You can see this is actually a green tree python. I love snakes and I love reptiles really, and I like amphibians. They're all just really cool to me. So they talk about how a python digests its food. So that if you want to know all about snakes, lizards, crocodiles, alligators, caiman, then this book